Okay, so for the last video on the arc and angle relationships of circles, we're going to talk about angles that happen outside, where the vertex is outside the circle. So we're going to have intersecting secants and intersecting tangents. The formula for this one is going to be the large arc minus the small arc divided by 2. So if we look at this example here, we have the large arc here and the small arc here. So we would do large arc minus the small arc over 2 is equal to whatever the angle measure is. Again, here's some other examples where we have the large arc and the small arc and the large arc and the small arc. Order does matter here because with subtraction, you would get something different. So it's not like the one previously where adding two numbers, you would get the same thing. So let's just go ahead and jump right into some examples here. So looking right here, we can see that we're looking for the measure of angle 1. And so we're going to start off with this formula here. And we see that this is my large arc and then this is the small arc. So 65 degrees is the large arc and the 15 degrees is the small arc. I shortened this here to L arc, so and minus the S arc. So let's go ahead and work this out. We're looking for measure of angle 1. So I'm going to put an X here so that we don't get too confused with that. Our large arc is 65 and our small arc is 15, and we're going to divide that by 2. Now again, if you use parentheses, you put all that in your calculator, but if not, just subtract it first. So we end up with 50 divided by 2, and therefore X is going to equal 25 degrees. Okay. Again, this is what we do when we have the angle on the outside. So let's look at the next example. Here we have the angle, and we do not have the small arc. So we're going to be looking for that measurement. We're still going to use the same formula. We just have to put things where they go. Our angle is 27 degrees. And that's going to be equal to, we have 70, which is the large arc, minus the small arc, which is what we're looking for. Right here, what we're going to do is cross multiplying. So we're going to do 27 times 2, so that's going to be 54, is equal to 70 minus X. When we subtract 70 from both sides, we end up with negative 16 is equal to negative X. And we can divide out that negative where 16 is going to equal X. So we already know how to do the algebra portion. That's all Algebra 1 skills that we have already gained. We just have to be able to identify where things go in the formula. So for this, just to reiterate, we're looking for the small arc because it's saying, hey, measure of arc angle B, and that's what this is. 70 degrees is my large arc. It's the bigger piece of the circle that is cut by these two secants. Okay, so let's look at this one here. Now for this one, we have an angle on the outside and we have one arc measure. But if we remember from the video earlier this week, we know that the circle adds up to 360 degrees. And so therefore we know that these two arcs right here have to add up to 360. So that means that this arc right here is going to be 100 degrees because 360 minus 260 is 100. Now I have the small arc and the large arc and I can find that angle. So I have X is equal to 260 minus 100, and we're going to divide that by 2. So X is going to equal 160 divided by 2, so X is equal to 80. Okay, and that's really it. Moving forward, just to kind of put it all together, here is a little diagram of all the angles that we've talked about. So we have central angles where angle equals the arc. We have the vertex on the circle, which is the inscribed angles. That's going to be angle equals arc divided by 2. We have vertex inside, the interior angles we talked about yesterday, which is angle equals arc plus arc divided by 2. And then the one that we did today where the vertex is outside with the intersecting secants and tangents. So we have angles equal to the large arc minus the small arc divided by 2. Again, if you have the arcs, you plug the arcs in where the arcs go and the angles in where the angles go, and then solve for the missing information that you need. Okay? Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.